All right. If anybody's still here, God bless you all. All right. If anybody's still here, God bless you all.
Whoopsie daisy.
All right. If anybody's still here, okay. Just had a little bit of a repeat. No. We're not updating anything. Leave me alone. So I think what Microsoft is doing right now is testing my patience, and I think they found the limit. That's probably just the hopefully that's just the ARAC update. But welcome back, everybody. 2024 was not working. I mean, everything, like, it moved my community folder, and whenever I tried to like reset my community folder, even to the default location, it would just create a community folder inside the community folder, and then we'd go through the whole loop again. Yeah, Harold, I'm in the same boat. I mean, I haven't loaded FlightSim 2020 since the last time we do it. Yeah, I mean, so PCVR, it's just I've never had any problem with 2024. I mean, it's been annoying at times, but I've never really had any problem running it. VR, of course, is a different story. I mean, VR was terrible for a long time, and VR is finally good now in Sim Update 2. But for whatever reason, it had me in this loop where it would change my, like, even when I set the community folder back to where it should have been, like back to the default location, it would just then create a community folder inside the community folder. And then once I sort of thought I had that licked, I loaded into Anguilla, and it just crashed, and then loaded up again, and then it was loaded up again, and then we had no controller settings, which I've got all my controller settings backed up. I mean, I did a video on that, but unfortunately, I can't sit here and do that right now. So 2020 it is, Mike Coffee. What's going on? Mike, we are gonna fly in 2020. So if you want to join us, you are more than welcome, amigo. We're back in 2020 by default today. So now I gotta figure out my 2024 setup and restore all my control settings, but whatever. The good thing is we'll be flying here relatively shortly. Hope everybody had a good week. I hope everybody's having a good weekend. We've gotten a massive cold front here in New York, and here we go. Anguilla, got a massive cold front here in New York, and so it's like it's going to be in the 50s for the next week and a half or week, whatever. Yeah, it's just like it's crazy weather. So let's see here. We got all players, live weather. I don't think it's raining in Anguilla. Is it raining in Anguilla? I guess we're about to find out. I don't want any updates. Let's go flying here. Yeah, it's Bob. It's like miserable out in New York right now. But that's just the way it goes. So got me head tracking set up here. SLH Sim Design's cloudy today. All right. Yeah, as a matter of fact, I saw on Friday it was supposed to be like some weather coming into Anguilla. But for those of you who don't know SLH Sim Designs, you're about to see one of his sceneries. So this is the gentleman who's done all of my favorite sceneries in FlightSim 2020 and 24. And as a matter of fact, now that I'm saying that, SLH, I've just realized I don't have your I don't have TFFG loaded today, because I haven't flown 2020 in like probably 3 weeks. But yeah, we wound up rebooting for controls is normal. Yeah, so it's just one of those things. But once I see Anguilla load, I'm gonna be a happy man. All right. Oh, I feel better already. So let's go and let's start the old head tracking here. And we are in and we are ready to rumble. Look at that. I mean, you know, so I have to say, like, at least having 2020 for a backup is great. All right, so let's go external power supply on, and I'll wait around for everybody to come on in. Hey, Peter, what's going on? I'm doing pretty good. We've had a distinct lack of success with 2024 today. My 2024 setup got completely messed up. So external power supply on. So we're in Anguilla, but we're in FlightSim 2020. So we'll just let everybody take their time to get over here. So there's external power supply on, rotating beacon on, mixtures and props full forward, master and battery switches on, fuel pumps or avionics master on. Let's see here. Yeah, it's not going to work in 2020. So there's that. We'll go fuel pumps on, and we'll turn on the mags. So what did I say was going to be our first destination? I got to check my own stream here. Let's see here. Where are we going to? We're going to... Alright, we go Princess Juliana, then Saba, then St. Barts, and then Grand Cass. Alright, perfect. So there's everything. Toes on the brakes, crack the throttles. Take a look outside, make sure there's nobody outside to kill or maim. And of course now we realize too that we have all of this stuff on. So we'll go all of this stuff off. Alright, and we'll go right engine start. Good start. Oil pressure is good. Looked like the plane was moving forward there for a second. Alright, we'll go left engine start. Good start. Oil pressure is good. Bring the throttles back here a little bit. So, go fuel pumps off. And you know what's funny is the last time I had 2024 running, I was finally able to get my fuel pumps set up for my Honeycomb Bravo, and now they are gone. So that's alright. Alright, let's lean the mixtures here. Throttles back a little bit. External power supply off. Nav and strobes on. Let's release the parking brake. Alright, so there's Chev. What's going on? And there's Buckman. Alright, so I think I saw some shadows up above us. That's probably Hans right there in his 152. Alright, so we got most people back. Let me see here. Abraham, what's going on? I did up until Abraham, I would have recommended it prior to about 20 minutes ago, but yeah, I mean 2024 is great. But I had some issues today, but that's all right. So hopefully everybody can hopefully everybody's in and ready to go here. So I was really looking forward to flying 2020 today too, or 2024 rather. All right, let's test our brakes. Brakes are working. So we are finally underway, about 45 minutes late. I appreciate you guys being patient. I pity whoever tries to watch this stream back and well, actually it won't have like a huge blank spot at the beginning, but looks like there's quite a bit of activity here in the area, I suppose, which for a Sunday makes some sense, right? Yeah, Abraham, so it's 2024 is fantastic. I just had some issues with the moving out of the beta back into the regular build, but I mean, other than that, yeah, I mean, FlightSim 24 is fantastic with Sim Update 2. It's really good. And I would definitely recommend it. So let's go fuel pumps on. Flaps are set. We'll go mixtures and props full forward. Landing light coming on. So Abraham, the short story is that the performance in 24 has really improved dramatically in Sim Update 2. So I don't quite know what's going to go on with Sim Update 3, but it's to me it's definitely the way to go nowadays. There's another Islander. Alright, power is in, takeoff power is set. Engine instruments are in the green, airspeed is alive. And there's 70 knots. And off we go. Awesome. Well, I appreciate everybody being patient. Thank you guys. Yeah, Peter, I was gonna ask you how your renovations are going. Taking a while. That's often the case when you get started on a project like that. You'll get more than you bargained for, you know. So off we go. Look at this, looking good. So I don't know if anybody caught the Formula One race earlier today. That was something else. I was absolutely sure that Oscar was gonna walk away with that, and that lasted until the first corner. Alright, let's dump the flaps here. 1,000 feet, we'll turn the fuel pumps off. Yeah, so Max, I don't know how Max walks with a pair that big. I mean, I don't like Max. I don't like him as a human being. I don't like him as a race car driver, but he is really, really good. He's really, really good. He's just irritating. He's an irritating human being. But that was quite a race. I mean, the guy, he goes for every hole. I mean, he's amazing. He's absolutely amazing. There's 50 feet below our cruise altitude. Bring some power out. Drop the nose. Props back a little bit. Yeah, I mean, Max Verstappen is he's just a different breed. He is just a completely different breed. For better or for worse. If you like him, you're in luck. You know, because he's amazing, but man, he's something else. Is it Memorial Day weekend? Seriously? No, it can't be, is it? Next weekend's Memorial Day weekend, isn't it? You're making me nervous, Mike. Whoa. Yep. Okay, so I just switched to see whether it was Memorial Day, and that happened. Next week. Yes, I do want to restart. Alright. This has been quite a day so far for flight simming for me. When it rains, it pours. It was like this making... My day has been like this since making coffee this morning. And there's somebody coughing in my airplane now. Alright. That's all good. I'll catch you guys all up here in a second. What the heck is that? Okay. I'm turning FS Realistic off. Alright, external power supply, rotating beacon on, mixtures and props full forward, master and batteries. We're just gonna go real quick here. Boop, 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 boop. I knew it wasn't Memorial Day weekend anyway. Alright, and let's take a look outside. Props are, power is set. Alright, good start. Good start. Alright. Let's go here. Why do I keep doing that? Alright, so we're just gonna go little by little. Cash Collins is here. This has been a shambolic display so far. I might take off in the other direction. Diamond strobe lights. We'll go landing light. Set the flaps. I'm gonna leave the fuel pumps right where they are. Transponder squawk altitude. And yeah. I can see everybody off flying, waiting for me. Alright. Yeah, cash from RAM, that's the same story for me, basically. Alright, so mixtures and props full forward, fuel pumps are on, flaps are set, seatbelts are secure, pre-landing checklist, or pre-departure checklist, rather, is complete. I'm gonna go this way just so I can catch you guys up quicker. This airplane can take off downwind. This ship's coming back for me. Alright. And I haven't even gotten to my nemesis yet. Haven't even gotten to my nemesis yet. Alright, let's put in a little bit of trim here. Bring the flaps up. It's kind of cool actually taking off this direction. I've rarely ever done that. Rarely ever done that. Harold is in the B60, the Duke. The Turbine Duke. No less. Alright, so head over to St. Maarten. We'll get our eye in with our first landing here of the day. So alright. I mean, 2020 is looking pretty good, I have to say. I think the last time I flew 2020, I had some issues with FS Realistic. Now that I think about it. Although one could reasonably argue that the issues lie with me. Alright. So here we are. Ed E, how you doing? What's going on? Alright. Get a little bit of trim in here, get a little bit of rudder trim in here. And off we go. My favorite place in the world is right there. That's the hotel we stay at in Anguilla. Alright. Let's see here. So, uninstalled it yesterday. Yeah. You know, it's funny because basically the only reason I didn't uninstall it yet is for testing in group flights. I'm curious to see what Sim Update 16 is all about. But I'm pretty glad I didn't uninstall it now, because if I had, I'd be in trouble. What the heck? What was my turbulence setting set to? Where are we here? It's not flight model. It is not graphics, not traffic. Where is it? Miscellaneous, is it not? No? Where is the assistances? There we go. What is my... Nope. Piloting. Turbulence, realistic. So that's another thing. So turbulence, set your turbulence to low. Take it from me. And actually the, Harold, I apologize. Harold, if you go... let me see. If you go, East USA server... Yeah, what is with this thing? Every time I move away from it. East USA server. Why is that happening? And all players. I thought that was an FS Realistic thing, but I turned FS Realistic off. Clearly not an FS Realistic thing. And my turbulence is on low. What the heck? Alright. I'm turning Real Turb off as well. I mean, I can't even control the plane. What's the is the weather like crazy down here or what? What is the weather down here right now? METAR is 140 to 11 knots. I mean, I don't know what the heck is going on with my turbulence, but it's not real turb. Seems to be a hard. That's bizarre. Yeah, Harold, I saw you with this as well. Actually, you might not have all players set. That might be the issue because as yeah, if that's you. All right. So let's start bringing some power out here. And let's bring the props back. Let's go fuel pumps are on. Gotta have some interior lights on too. Hey Easing, what's going on? It's been a chaotic start to our flying day. It's been a chaotic start, but we're gonna get it done here. We are persistent if nothing else. Alright. Start getting rid of some airspeed here. And we are in 2020. For anybody who wants to join us, we are in 2020 today, unlike we expected. Alright, there's fuel pumps on, flaps are set. What lights do I have on up there that are going? Alright. Power's coming back here. Diamond Mike, what's going on? How you doing? Alright. A headpiece set here. There we go. White arc. White arc, we have it. We'll go mixtures and props full forward. Fuel pumps are on. Flaps are set. So we got one warm-up landing before we head for Saba. I like the airspeed. I like the power. This is feeling quite nice. Slowly coming back to 80 knots. Should be a little bit of a right to left crosswind here. There's more power coming out here. We're gonna do a touch and go here. 70 knots, that's perfect. Be even more perfect if we were on center line, but we're not. And that was a terrible landing. Mixtures and props full forward. Fuel pumps are on. We'll come up one notch of flaps. Alright, back on center line here. Power coming in. Power is set. Engine instruments in the green, 70 knots. We go flying. Alright. I like that P828S right there. Alright, let's go. And there's Mary's Boon right there. We stayed there in 2021. Right there. Cool little hotel. Alright, now power coming back. Props back a little bit. Flaps coming up. Alright. Now we're starting to settle into some normalcy here. How is that for a beautiful sight? Life is fishing. There you go. I like eating fish. There's 1,000 feet AGL. We'll turn our fuel pumps off. And we'll check our fuel pressures. Fuel pressures are looking good. A little bit too nose up there. We'll come back to 100 knots. Jim, what's going on? How are you doing? We are just bombing around the Caribbean today. Yeah, Cash. So I just saw your message about thinking we were in 2024. So we were in 2024, but my 2024 got totally messed up. And so we had to make a last minute switch here. Sorry. But the good news is, Cash, you can come flying with us now. That is the good news. I gotta figure out how to get my community folder set in 2024 again here. Let's see, Nate, what's going on? SimUp 3 beta. You almost have it all downloaded. So I don't know necessarily if I'm gonna do that. I mean, that's like the headline part of Sim Update 3 so far, right? But I honestly don't know if I'm gonna download stuff. I mean, the streaming has worked pretty well for me. You know, I know for, you know, especially if you don't have like a really good internet connection. I know that's an issue. Updated yesterday and flew PMDG 777. First time tested was good and stable. So, Ilias, is that Flight Sim 24 you're talking about, Sim Update 3 beta? So I know for a lot of people we're having problems getting the 777 to work in Sim Update 3 beta. But if you're talking 2020 or 2024 Sim Update 2, then yeah, you should be really good to go. Roll in some trim here. Hey Brian, how's it going? Let's see here. Jim, I had all my settings tossed with Sim Update 2, so it's not surprising that you might have to adjust them in Sim Update 3. There is a way to save your settings, your controller settings, which fortunately I did, because I have to restore them all now. But let's see here. Let's see here. Whoopsie. Alright, that's looking good. And let's see here. Roger, we are on the East USA servers, and if you want to hop in, we will be landing right now. Yeah, exactly. Thanks, guys. Appreciate the appreciate you guys helping Roger out. Yeah, sim update. So Ilias, yeah, that's sweet. There's a F-18. Look at that. It's busy down here today. There's a lot going on. 739. That's a plane you don't see an awful lot. At least me. 737 Max. Han's doing his low altitude cruise. Man, I appreciate you guys being patient today. That was a pain earlier. I was getting frustrated. Yeah, so Jim, the my rule for betas is I always join after the first update. So when a beta first comes out, the first build is usually questionable, to say the least. And so what I usually do is I'll wait till they release the first update to the beta, and then I'll join. But Sim Update 2 beta was so long, I just felt like flying after a while. Roger, this is the Britain Norman Islander. It's a Payware plane, and it's a great plane. Whoopsie, let me see if I can spell Islander correctly. And I have actually flown in literally this exact airplane from Anguilla Air Services. So, you know, I misread what you wrote, Mike. I was reading if you land at sea, and I'm interested in checking out some seaplanes, which I've never really been interested in. Oh, Nate, yeah. Where are you at that you're on the Starlink? But yeah, I mean, that definitely for some people, I mean, the option to download is going to be huge. You know? It's good that it's there. It's good that people can do it if they need to or want to. Northern Idaho, gotcha. Gotcha. Well, you know what? It's one of those cool things, you know, is you can be connected. It's a seaplane. It's actually float plane. I've been in a float plane once. I took a tour of the Adirondacks with Mrs. IslandSimPilot. We were in a Cessna 206. Cessna 206, I think it's 260 horsepower. And we were there were three of us in the plane. Me, Mrs. ISP, and the pilot. And we barely made 100 knots in that thing. Those floats are, let's just say, very draggy, you know. And Nate, that's good to hear, because a lot of people are going to be wondering about that. So that's good to hear that you're seeing a good performance boost with doing that. There is Statia. Statia is a cool, that island right there, that's a cool landing too. That's a cool landing as well. Beaver 185. Below me to the right. There we are. There's Cash and the Twin Otter. Alright, we gotta bring some power out here. So here's my nemesis, my arch nemesis. The Saba. You guys feel like going to Statia after this, or you want to go to St. Barts? I was thinking maybe go to Saba, or maybe go to Statia, which is right there. Whoops. Maybe go to Statia, and then go to St. Barts. Depends on what you guys want to do. Having some issues with sticky rudders. Roger, I haven't heard of that one. Is it, what rudder pedals are you using? CD Castle in the 172 showing the way here. Nice. Let's go to, all right, we'll go to Statia after this. It's, what is Statia? I'm trying to remember the account code for Statia. It is TNCE, Tango November Charlie Echo. Let's do Statia. Statia's a cool, I love that. I love that, airport. Roger, there's been some, yeah, Peter, exactly. Roger, there's been some weird, like all my control bindings got ditched. You might want to check if you've got like, if they've somehow managed to double, if you've got two axes assigned or something. It could be, because I know a lot of people lost all their control bindings, which I just found out that I did. So maybe check if you've got like double control bindings or something. Alright, let's go. Fuel pumps on. I'm high again. I'm always high coming in here. It's not good. Not good. I'm high, I'm fast. Those are two things you don't want to be at Saba. Here's a notch of flaps. Just gonna hold, gonna bring some power out and just hold it right here. There we go, white arcs. We'll get that second notch in. I'm gonna go props full forward already, and we're gonna slow it right down to 70 knots here. Alright, Peter, here we go, buddy. A little bit high, but not too bad. More interested in getting my speed back here to 70 knots. Alright, fuel pumps on, flaps are set. Seat belts are secure. Pre-landing checklist is complete. There's 70 knots. We'll bring some power in now. Alright, mixtures and props full forward. We got Cash Panda coming in here. I think the slow airspeed is the key to the Saba landing. I always come in too fast no matter where I'm going. Very nice and stable here. Very nice and stable. What can I do to mess this up? Something, I'm sure. I get nervous doing this landing. We're rolling in some trim here. Yeah, I gotta bring some power out. I'm getting too much speed here. Oh. Decided it wanted to float on me a little bit. Alright, power's all the way out now. Look at that. That might be... Can he make... Oh, that might be my best Saba landing I've ever done. That was not bad. That was not bad right there. And here we go. Here we go. Let's see some Saba landings here, fellas. Hans in the 152. That's going to be interesting coming into Saba in that plane. I don't know why my plane stopped. Let's see. This, Roger, is... Let me put my brakes on here before I hit something. This is... Gosh. This is TNCS. And Bob is looking smooth on the Islander right there. He is looking smooth. That is looking good. That is looking real good. Very nicely done. Very nicely done. Man, we're gonna mow some people down here. Let's see what we got, Hans. Bob, that was really, really nice. If it wasn't recorded. Yeah, I wouldn't believe it either. Alright. I'm finally starting to have some fun now. Yeah, Brian, I'm the same way. Unless... Because if you think of, like, most of the flying I've done in 24 has been with stuff that I have downloaded. It's interesting because, like, the 777, the Phoenix, this airplane, none of it's streamed. Hey, Darren, what's going on? Bob, that was perfect. Oh, that is the Jenny right there. That is a cool plane. That is really cool to see. That's the Curtis Jenny right there, the JN4. And there comes Hans. Man, you guys are doing it well today. You guys are doing it well. Yeah, that's the Curtis Jenny. That is a cool little airplane. We should do... Are there any, Are there any vintage biplanes that are stock in 24? Because that'd be a fun flight to do. Do like vintage airplanes one time. So let's go. All right, fuel pumps are on, flaps are set. Gotta go mixtures full forward. Probably should put the trim forward a little bit here. All right. And I know they've got this set up for a right hand, for a left turn at the end of the runway, but I don't like left turns because I want to be able to see what's coming down final. So let's go to Statia. We have been to Statia together, I think, as a group, but it's been a while. Alright, toes on the brakes, flaps are set, fuel pumps on, takeoff power coming in. I'm gonna mow some people down here. And takeoff power is set. Engine instruments in the green, release the brakes. Cash Panda. And we're looking for 70 knots here. And off we go. Drop the nose a little bit. This is another one of my favorite departures in the sim. Just a cool departure. I've never been to Saba in real life, but someday. Alright, let's go flaps up here. And we'll just nose on over here to the right a little bit. So there's Statia directly out ahead of us, and then St. Kitts just beyond that. I'm aiming for the moon right now, apparently. There's 1,000 feet. We'll turn the fuel pumps off. So Statia's another place that I haven't been in real life, but it's one of my favorite. It's one of my favorite approaches. It's just a cool. I don't know why. The airport is in like a little valley, and it's just neat. I like it. So let's get it to 100 knots here. A little bit nose down. And off we go. So, top tip when first flying a drone, or at least very soon, take all the automation off. Yeah, you know, I actually believe that quite a bit in airplanes in general, Darren. I'm a big fan of hand flying things. I was watching, so the Actually, I don't think it's not very far down to Saba, or down to Eustatius. I'm gonna stop at 2,500 feet. But Darren, so when the Warrior and the arrows and stuff came out for Flight Sim 24 this past week, I was watching all these threads about people trying to figure out how to get the autopilot to work. I'm like, it's a Piper Warrior, for crying out loud. Now, mind you, I have a Piper Cherokee 180, and I do have an autopilot in it, and I do use it, but I mean, I'm talking real life, but I don't know. I think people are... does the 777 need an autopilot? Yes, it does. Does the Warrior need an autopilot? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. So, Roger. Yeah, East USA, Roger, yeah. So if you see them, you should be able to see me. It's a great crowd today. That's another nice airplane, the E190. I like that plane. 748, nice. 182 turbo, that's another nice plane. Alright. So, yeah, Kenneth, that just happened to me earlier today. Yeah, Cash, I mean, it just depends on what you're flying, right? But, like, to me, if you're flying the Warrior, like, the whole idea is flying the airplane. Brew Pilot, what's going on? How you doing? It's been a while. Gotcha. Yeah, so we're at Brew Pilot. We're actually in 2020 today because my 2024 got like completely messed up. We were gonna do 2024, but after about 45 minutes of fooling with it, I couldn't get it working. So 2020 it is today. But it is good to be back in the group flights either way. How you been, brother? What's the difference between a Warrior, Archer, and a Cherokee? So the Warrior is... Cherokees were the originals. Cherokees came out in... I think the first Cherokees were I want to say 62. And there was the 140, the 180, and then the 235 came out in like 1966. The Arrow is the retractable Cherokee, essentially. It was originally an Arrow 180, and then they made an Arrow 200. And the Warrior is the Warriors. I think they came out in like the early 80s, maybe 84. So the Warrior, they've got different wing types. The Warrior has the tapered wing. So in other words, like this essentially has the same wing as the Cherokee. They call it the Hershey bar wing because it looks like a Hershey bar. You know, just square. Whereas the Warrior, the wing tapers. The wing comes out here and then tapers, and supposedly that gives it better stall characteristics. But I like the older Cherokees. Yeah, Brian, the in 2024 the Warrior is incredible. It's so good, especially after they put out like a small update like 2 days after the initial release, and it's just fantastic. It is really good. So there we go. Oh, Roger, you were in 24. I'm sorry, I couldn't change the title of the stream after we started. I apologize, but we'll get back to we'll get to 2024 next weekend. Yeah, the Warrior's incredible in Flight Sim 24. I'm sure the update's pretty good in 2020 as well. But alright. We'll go fuel pumps on. I'm always trying to capture it from too high. Always trying to capture from too high. I think it's runway 6 here. So we'll bug that. And see, it's just cool how the there's the airport, and this is the oil refinery. It's just cool how the airport is like sitting down in the little valley there. I just like it. Alright, let's get under 115 knots, get some flaps in here. I am way too high. So we'll nosedive here for a little bit. Luis, what's going on? How are you doing? Work for you, my commiserations, my friend. My commiserations, but I'm glad you're able to stop in. Ooh, I am way past my flap speed. I'm gonna rip my flaps off. Alright, I'm doing pretty much everything wrong right now. Pretty much everything. Let's get into... There's the white arc. We'll go second notch of flaps. Alright, there we go. This is How Not to Fly an Approach by IslandSimPilot's. Alright. 80 knots here. Let's get that. Alright, what do we got? We got a pretty good crosswind actually, I think. As evidenced by my S turn here. There's 3 red. Yeah, we got a serious crosswind here. Alright, let's get back on center line. Let's get some more trim in here. A little bit of power out now. 2 white, 2 red, liking that. Alright, mixtures and props full forward, fuel pumps are on, flaps are set, seatbelts are secure, pre-landing checklist is complete. A little bit of power there. The Pappies are set up for the tallest cockpit of an airplane that lands at the field, so it's not, you really shouldn't have 2 white, 2 red in an Islander. That right there wasn't too bad. Alright, let's get some brakes here. That wasn't too bad. That was somewhat of a redemption. Let's see here. Alright. You get off the center line here. Man, Bob, you're greasing those landings today. Looking really good. So... Yeah, Brew Pilot being uninterested in the struggle, I can understand that. It's way better in 2020. It's way better after Sim Update 2. And this is a sweet little Freeware airport, by the way. Let me get out of Han's way here, and then we'll head back over to St. Barts. What do you say? That is looking sweet. Why is that a low wing 172 or 152 rather? Nicely done, Hans. Nicely done. All right. Yeah, there's a little Freeware airport. Oh wait, no, I don't have the airport loaded. Never mind. It's not a little Freeware airport. I don't have the airport loaded, but it's still pretty cool. And here comes Cash in the Kodiak. All right, flaps are set. A few pumps are on. How's my trim? Trim is a little bit too nose up. Go right there. Yeah, Sim Update 2 is a huge step forward. I've never flown the Kodiak. I've never flown the Zodiac. Or the Zodiac, the Kodiak. Alright, mixtures and props full forward. Let me see this so I don't... That was nicely done right there. Alright, let's get matriculating here. Alright, heading indicator checks with the runway number. What's my fuel? I don't know if the fuel valves work in this airplane now that I think about it. Alright, takeoff power set. Engine instruments in the green, airspeed is alive, accelerating normally. 70 knots. And off we go. Alright. Power back. Props coming back. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. That is a nice... isn't that a cool airport? I just like that airport. I think it's fun. So, where is St. Barts? There's St. Barts. Off we go. Off we go. To St. Barts. That was a fun little diversion. Lorenzo, what's going on? How are you? Doing great. How you doing? And get that nose down here a little bit. We are doing good. Talked to your dad into getting the Kodiak and he loves it. I've heard nothing but good things about the Kodiak. I've heard nothing but good things about the Kodiak. Just not really my type of plane. I'm not really a bush plane kind of guy. But I remember when that thing came out, like in, was it 2021 probably? That was one of the big like early releases for GA planes anyway. And I've heard nothing but good things about that. Rainy day in Trinidad. Yeah, we got a rainy day in New York, man. We're gonna have a week of cold, wet weather in New York. There's 1,000 feet, by the way. Let's turn our fuel pumps off. Check our fuel pressures. Fuel pressures are good. Yeah, we get a week of cold, wet weather coming up for New York, which stinks because I've got my plants all ready to plant. I can't do it because just, well, I suppose I can, but it's just miserable weather out. Yesterday was close to 80 and sunny. Friday was 80 and sunny, and today it's like 55 degrees. Miserable. Miserable. I'm like in the slowest plane out here, I think. Yep, there goes Cash. F-30. Oh, I was thinking that was the, you know, it might help if I put my flaps up too. That is definitely going to help. So I'm going to go 3,000 feet. We'll go 3,000 to St. Barts. There's 2,000 climbing 3,000. Doot, doot, doot. 7.5 degrees is a good climb altitude in this airplane. Hans, back in the Islander, nice. Yeah, the 152 is a fun plane, but it is slow. It is slow. It's still showing you in the 152. 2,500 climbing 3,000. And let's keep that nose down here. So yeah, I got whatever, Darren, whichever one is the one with all of the bells and whistles is the one I got. I got the second highest one in 2020, and I regretted it only because there were a couple airports and a couple planes that I wanted. And I didn't realize that you can't get them really after, I mean, you can get them after you buy your initial edition, but in 2020 you had to pay full price for the next edition. Like, there was no discount for the upgrade. I think in 2024 you can buy the planes separately, can't you? I think the stock planes. Bring this back a little bit, bring that back a little bit. I think in 2024 you can just purchase the upgrades if you want to. Let's see here. Let's see here. So my anybody who's come in late to the party today is going to be confused that we're not flying in Flight Sim 2024, but we are not. What is the weather in St. Barts? It's probably the same as here. Buckman. Yeah, I know, I did the same thing. I always do that in this plane for some reason. The plane also goes faster when you stop climbing. Let's see here. TFFJ airplane, stop climbing. Let's see. Winds at St. Barts are 110 at 8 knots. I'm gonna do the runway 28 approach in St. Barts today. Islander works in 2024. I believe the Comanche does. I don't know if the Comanche is official. And I finally just rolled in like a mile of nose down trim because I'm sick of the plane climbing. I don't think the Comanche is official in 2024, but it does work. But the Islander works in 2024. A treat, works just fine. Leave the window open is nice. Window open is nice. Although it's pretty loud in this plane. So we're gonna do the runway 28 approach into St. Barts today. Should we do a runway? You want me to do runway 28 or 10? What do you guys want? I'll do either one. Oh, so Darren, the Comanche is ready in 24. Yeah, Darren. Yeah, it does go faster when they rip off from overspeed. Let's see here. I like adding Statia to our. That's another nice airplane. To our little route here. Yeah, we're gonna be lined up for 2020 or for 28. I'm gonna do runway 28 landing. The F-33A, is that the Bonanza, or is that the or is that the Boeing F-30? No, there's no F-33. What am I talking about? Yeah, the WB Sim 152 is fantastic. I love that little airplane. There's somebody in the DA-40, which is another fantastic airplane. The DA-40 is great. DA-40 is phenomenal. Alright. So I was 400 feet above my altitude. Now I'm 300 feet below my altitude. Cool. Sloppy flying today, sloppy flying. So tomorrow morning, I'm going to get my FAA medical renewed. And I was thinking about going flying tomorrow morning, since I'll be legal again. But I think the weather is going to be yucky. It's going to be windy. So I don't think that's going to happen. But I was thinking about trying to record a real flight for you guys tomorrow, but I don't think it's going to happen. Yeah, Lorenzo, that's the 414 is sweet. That is a really nice airplane. That is a really Roger, in real life I have a Cherokee 180 and a Cessna 150. And the 180 just came out of annual last Saturday. So I just didn't bother getting my medical renewed because there was no plane to fly. So my medical ran out in December, and I just decided just to wait until, because now that I'm old, when it used to be before you're 40, you get your medical's good for 5 years. Now it's good. Now I'm over 40, it's good for 2 years, and it's kind of a pain. But oh, runway 28 is what we're looking for. Why am I going this way? I'm rotating the knob the wrong way around here. So yeah, so my medical ran out in December, but I don't fly in the winter anyway in New York, so I figured just wait until spring to re-up it. Alright. Bring the power back here, bring the power way back here. Alright, there's a notch of flaps. Let's go fuel pumps on. Whoopsie. And we'll roll in some trim here. This is a cool, I like this approach. I'm not doing the official one. There's an official route you're supposed to fly through the hills here. I have to power all the way out. I'm way high right now. So I have a buddy who flies Islanders out of Anguilla, and he says anytime the winds are less than 10 knots, they'll land runway 28 in St. Barts. Alright, we're looking good here. So we gotta come just over the top of this ridge right here. I'm gonna square it out a little bit here. Why did my flaps come up? No wonder I'm going so fast. This is not good. They don't have any. No going around now. Oh, this is not good. This is not good. Alright. That was when I should have gone around on a long time ago. I don't think I've ever gotten off on this exit. That was when I should have gone around on a long time ago. Jose Gaming is probably wondering who the idiot is who came in the wrong way. That's me. I swear I had flaps in, but now I'm going backwards. Yeah, I had a tricky one too, Rob. That's a tricky one too. Brakes! Brakes! It's uphill, thank God. Yeah, take a right. Han's in the other direction coming in. Here's Sheb. We got people coming from all directions here. That was not a good, do you fly near the Statue of Liberty in real life? I do not. I haven't. That was a terrible approach. That was embarrassingly bad. Ryan, I have never flown near the statue. There's a VFR corridor, they call it, over Manhattan, or it's actually over the Hudson River, where you can go fly down the Hudson River around the Statue of Liberty, but it's too low. There's too much traffic. I wouldn't do it in real life. Fuck, man, it's looking good. That's looking good. Those are two nice landings right there. Very nicely done, sir. There's Sheb coming in the other direction. So yeah, you can do it, Ryan, but in real life I wouldn't do it. I don't like I'm not very adventurous in my real flying, let's put it that way. It's just, there's too much traffic, too much can go sideways down there for my taste. You know. So let's see here. Where are our flaps? Flaps are good. Yeah, VFR not recommended for sure. But that's what it is though. It's VFR down there. And that's not something I would do in real life. I know people who have done it. As a matter of fact, one of the guys in my flying club did it. As a matter of fact. Had himself a good time, but I wouldn't do it. Right, let's see here. Alright, mixtures and props full forward, fuel pumps are on, flaps are set. What's our trim set to? Trim is good. Alright, takeoff power is coming in. Takeoff power is set. Engine instruments are in the green, airspeed is alive. Accelerating normally. And there's 70 knots. And we'll just stay right in ground effect here. I love doing this. This is it's still my favorite departure in the sim. Love it. Gosh, it's looking good. Weather's looking really good. Weather's looking really... Oh, we got some rain here, fellas. We got some weather coming up. Power coming back. Props coming back. We got some weather over here. I wonder what, does anybody know what Sim Update 16 is going to be in hey, helicopter virtual, what's going on? Might have to turn on some interior lighting here. Let's dump the flaps here. Might be doing some IFR flying here. That'd be kind of cool. Whoopsie. No. I'm gonna do 1,500 feet here. Interior lights are coming up. There we go. AJ, what's going on? We're doing great, man. We're doing great. We got off to an auspicious start today, but we're doing pretty good now. Alright, we're gonna do some IFR flying here. What? Flaps are up. Alright. We're gonna do some hand flown IFR here, fellas. Let's zoom in. Alright, so we want a heading of, we go about 350, maybe about 345. Let's go heading at 345. Why is... Why am I going 160 miles an hour, you suppose? Nope. Huh. Alright, so we gotta bring some power out here because we are... See this? See how I'm nose down? See that? Going 160 knots and trying to stay level. It's a little wacky. Yeah, it must be the wind from the must be getting updrafts. Alright, we don't want to do that either. Come on now. Alright. This is kind of a cool view. What the heck? No. Neat. Got some weather. Got some actual weather here. No, settle. It's so funny because I don't get much weather. It doesn't really seem in the sim. I don't remember the last time I did actual IFR. Even in like a big plane. Hey Alex, what's going on? Let's get the nose up here. Come on, nose. Let's roll this heading bug around. 1 second here. Reinstall Windows 11. Have you ever flown the Islander? Alex, yeah, I've actually flown in this exact airplane that I'm simming in right now. This is... Let me get the heading indicator around here. This is Victor Papa Alpha Alpha Charlie. And I've flown in this exact airplane a couple times actually. Between Anguilla and St. Maarten and back. It's a cool plane. The Trilander between Jersey and Guernsey. Yeah, the Trilander is a weird beast. I've never been in a Trilander. And fun fact about the Trilander, the reason it is 19 seats is because the regulations for 20-seat airplanes get significantly more complicated than airplanes with less than 20 seats. So they can actually put 20 seats in the Trilander. They just took one out because it makes the regulations easier. Pretty funny, huh? Hazy but clear via REX. See, what's weird is that sometimes the weather, sometimes the stock weather is really, really good, and then sometimes it's like just kind of boring. You know, I don't know what the. I mean, this is just gorgeous. Look at this. I don't know why the stock weather is sometimes good and sometimes boring, but it is. Captain Lylov, FPS is probably pegged at 60, I would have to guess. I haven't, I don't have the FPS counter on, so I'm not sure. Like an Islander, just longer. Yeah, absolutely. Every 20 minutes between Jersey and Guernsey. Yep, yeah, that's exactly what those planes are for. It's exactly what those planes are for. Gosh, this is beautiful. Look at this. I mean, there are days where I think to myself, 2020 is just incredible. I mean, it is incredible. Let's face facts, you know? I mean, Flight Sim 2020 was revolutionary. Like in every sense of the word. Flight Sim 2020 was just unbelievable. I always wanted to sim a lot, but I just couldn't Flight Sim or Prepared. Like I used Prepared to practice approaches when I was doing my instrument rating, but I mean, as far as like simming for fun, it just didn't do it for me. But Flight Sim 2020 is just amazing. Just amazing. All right, let's. That right there is the first place I ever put my feet in the Caribbean Sea, right there. And I was smitten. That was where Mrs. ISP and I went in 2013. Seems like a long time ago. Cash coming straight in the Kodiak. It's an A310. That's a neat little airplane. Not little, actually. Alright. Let's get it back to 80 knots. 80 knots is right there. So, just head right here for the end of the beach. And we'll just let it wiggle down here. I had so much fun. So when we were here in September, we stayed like right there. Right in here somewhere. And I just sat there watching planes come in all day. It was so much fun. We were staying like right here. Alright, flaps are set, few pumps are on. Go mixtures and props full forward. Wind is going to be a little bit right to left. SLH Sim Designs, my apologies. I don't have your scenery loaded because I didn't set it up for Flight Sim 2020. Or maybe I did that. Those buildings look awfully accurate. Alright, let's pay attention here. Airspeed's good. Pretty stiff crosswind. It's showing anyway. Power coming out. Power's out. There we go. Not too bad. What? I don't think this is SLH Sim Designs. I think this is Airworthy Designs. I'm pretty sure. That is... Oh, that's Winair. Okay. That's a Winair Islander right there. And here we're gonna go into the ditch, I guess. There we are. Gosh, the weather's looking nice. Oh, this is not SLH Sim Designs. Man, Bob, you're making it look easy today. Here comes Buckman. Let's go up one notch of flaps here. Yeah, so I gotta go do my medical tomorrow and then go stare longingly at my airplane, but it's gonna be too windy. Buckman greasing it on. Very nicely done. Very nicely done. So, go mixtures and props full forward. Fuel pumps are on, flaps are set. Let's head on back over to Anguilla. We'll head home here. We did a pretty good round robin here. What was that? St. Maarten, Saba, Eustatius, St. Barts, Grand Cas. Alright, mixtures of props full forward. Fuel pumps are on, flaps are set. And Off we are. Oh, I don't know if you guys saw. Good friend of the channel, Captain Hughes. Heading indicator checks with the runway number. Takeoff powers coming in. Captain Hughes yesterday at the Atlanta City Games ran the second fastest straight 200 in history. 19.55. 70 knots and off we go. Man, that is one fast human being. Huge congratulations for that one. Man. Yeah, Captain Hughes is the fastest man in British history, and he can also, the guy can land an airplane, let me tell you. Oh man, twin endorsement. I would love to get my twin engine rating, but I'm scared of twin engines. The VMC demo makes me nervous. You screw that up and get a twin spinning, you're done for. The reason twins don't spin the way that single engine planes do, if you spin a twin, you're gonna be lucky to get out of it. I'm gonna stay at 1,000 feet so we stay out of the clouds here. But Mike, if you spin a twin, every once in a while, it happens happens like a couple times a year, it seems. People are doing single engine ops in twins, like, you know, for training. I mean, most of your twin engine training, you're just flying around in one engine. But there's one part of the training where you do VMC demos, and it's basically single engine control, like minimum controllable airspeed, and that's what the blue line right there is for. But the problem with twins is if you get a twin spinning, because the engines, this one might be a little different because the engines are in close. But most twins, if you get them spinning, because the weight of the wings, or the weight of the engines rather, is away from the center of gravity, you often don't have enough rudder to counteract the spin. And if that happens, you're toast. You are toast. And that's, I mean, every twin engine pilot's done it, you know, the demo that is, but it's just not something, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe someday. But let's see. Oh, Lorenzo, this is that was Grand Casse in St. Maarten. Boy, this is beautiful, is it not? TBM 9 back there. That's a nice plane too. And we're heading over to Anguilla. This is the airport here that we're coming up to is TQPF. Oops, so you get the nose down here a little bit. Ryan, I can do that. I might actually do that tomorrow. Maybe I'll walk you guys through the hangar. It'll be about 11 a.m. if I do it. Matter of fact, I will, because I've got some neat things to look at tomorrow. We got a new interior put in the plane. Should look pretty good. Yeah, exactly, Sheb. Medical, and then figure out 2024. So here we are. This weather looks awesome right now. Looks really, really cool. Buckman. We got 2020 works. Since 1983 we were flying. 2024 dropped the ball. Yeah, you know, I mean, 2020 is 2020. I always said 2020 was a sim that we dreamed about, you know, because I mean, I started simming in probably, I would say FS98 was probably my first flight simulator. Bring some power back here, bring the props back. FS98 was probably my first flight simulator. And I mean, FS 2020 is the one we always wanted. you know. Getting some great screenshots here. Alright, we're at 1,000 feet. There's 115 knots. And there's Sheb, there's Cash. That guy's been coming in the 310 for a while now. Cash is on glide path, I can tell he always is. 95 to 2020. Yeah. That's about it. I actually might have flown Flight Sim 95. I might have. Man, this weather looks fantastic. Alright, second notch of flaps. There is sandy ground right there. There's a great little Italian restaurant right there. Alright. You don't need to know that. Why am I still at 1,000 feet, you suppose? Should probably let go of the back pressure here at some point. What do you say? Alright, there we go. That's a little bit better. Alright, let's get it back to there's one red. I'm happy with that. Let's get it back to 80 knots here. Little mixtures and props full forward. Fuel pumps are on. Flaps are set. There's 80 knots. Let's keep some power in now. Just to hold that 80 knots. Alright. Alright, a little bit of power coming out. A little bit of nose up trim. Looking good, looking good. A little bit more nose up here. Hey, Buckman, I'll follow you in, my brother. Alright. There we go. A little bit of right to left crosswind here. Power coming out. Power's all the way out. There we go. Not too much of a crosswind, but we got it done. There's the American Airlines flight right there. Do-do. Whoopsie. Where are we going here? There we go. There's the American Airlines. They fly E175s in here. I don't think they fly E195s. I think it's 175s they fly in here. Which I have done once. In real life, that is. There we go. Bring our flaps up here. $175s, 2 flights a day, yeah. I'll put on the old brakes here, watch some landings. Lorenzo, REX, so I have REX, I just haven't used it in a while. I got REX when the, it's another greaser, Bob, really nice landings today. Very, very nice. I got REX when, there was a period where there was like no weather in the sim. And so I got REX, and it is really good. I just got out of the habit of using it because eventually the weather started working again. Yeah, Sheb, you know, I mean, that's a fair question to ask. It really is, you know. Well, you know, Bob, my 2.8 landing wasn't exactly anything to write home about either, but I did get the I did get my Saba landing pretty good today. Which for me is a minor miracle. There we go. Set the brakes. We'll go mixtures to idle cutoff. Throttles are idle. Set the parking brake. Lights coming off. Avionics master coming off. Flaps are up. We'll go fuel pumps off. Mags off. Avionics or master and battery switches off here. Let's go over here. Put out the chocks and the boarding steps. Then we'll come over here and we'll open our doors. That was nice. I mean, we got off to an auspicious start, but it all worked out in the end. You know, all worked out in the end. And yeah, the weather's looking fantastic. But yeah, REX does use weather interpolation outside of the US, but it's pretty darn good. It really is. You know, and yeah, I mean 2024 is amazing. The thing to me that's so, I mean, kind of everything's better in 2024. Like the flight model is way better. The visuals are better despite how good this looks. I mean, it looks fantastic, but the visuals in 2024 are just way better. You know, it's an amazing sim, but you know, I can understand people's frustration with it, but it's getting there. I mean, Sim Update 2 is definitely a long way. Yeah, the weather engine's better in 2024. What's weird about the weather is they use, what is it, Meteo Blue? It's like some company nobody's ever heard of. But I mean, you know, I totally understand. I think still like about twice as many people use 2020 as use 2024 at this point, and I totally get that. But 2024 is huge step forward with Sim Update 2. I'm curious to see what Sim Update 3 is going to be about. There really wasn't a whole lot in the release notes for Sim Update 3, but who knows? You know, there comes Crowny in the 310. He's been coming in the whole time we were flying. I've been watching him since like 30,000 feet. See if he gets it on. Looking good. Oop. Is that a go around? That's a go around. I was wondering. Crowny on the go around. He's on the go out of St. Maarten. But anyway, fellas, I really appreciate everybody's patience at the start, because it was not good at the start. I got to figure out what's up with my 2024 install. You know, Ryan, that's definitely one of them. That's definitely one of them for Sim Update 3. My VRAM was okay in 24, but I know a lot of people have had problems with it. Yeah, Erico, it's getting it set up is a challenge. There's no question, especially like I'm used to it now, but getting the controllers set up, and I think the controller setup is actually easier in 24 than 2020, but it's not easier if you don't know how to do it. You know, it's completely different. It can be a pain. The one thing I really like about 24 is when you switch airplanes, the controller profiles switch with the plane. So in other words, if you set up like a twin engine piston setup and set that for, you know, your Islander, every time you go into the Islander, it's gonna load that controller profile, which is really nice, you know. Yeah, Mike, I gotta go back and watch my own video, man, and find out how to restore my settings, because all my control bindings got tossed in 24. But yeah, I mean, Cache, the local download is going to be great for people who, you know, people who don't have a consistent internet connection, that sort of thing, you know. It's going to be great. But 2024 next time indeed, Bob. We will do it. I'll get 24 squared away here in the next day or so. What's weird, I think I flew it after it updated on Friday, was it? Thursday or Friday when Sim Update 2 came out, but whatever. it happens. You know, it happens. But I appreciate you guys. I really appreciate it. Yeah, Mike, so 2024 is going to allow local download after starting with Sim Update 3. So that's one of the, and what's funny, that's one of the new features of Sim Update 3, but they didn't announce it. It's not in the release notes, but you can do it. So see, Cash, I don't know if it's going to make a difference in performance. I guess we'll find out, right? I mean, I guess some people have said it does, you know, so we'll see. But we shall see. I think sceneries, I mean, you can download airports, I'm sure, but like, you know, the general world scenery, I think is going to be streamed no matter what, you know. But anyway, gents, I appreciate everybody coming out. Appreciate your patience. Appreciate everybody flying along. Buck, Cashman, Kashif, and Mike. Everybody, I really appreciate it. Bob, thanks. Ryan, thanks for coming out. Lorenzo, Sheb, always good to see you. Aaron, good to see you as well. Hope Anguilla's treating you well, my friend. And yeah, it was a good flight today. I really enjoyed it and I needed it after the frustration of trying to get started. I needed some good flying time. But really appreciate everybody coming out. And next Sunday we are flying Flight Sim 24. Come what may, we are flying 2024. Yeah, the downloading the whole world would be troublesome. I'm gonna stick to streaming. Esing, thanks for coming out, man. I appreciate it. I am gonna stick with streaming, you know, until there's a need. But and Ryan, it'll be about 11 a.m. It'll be about 11 a.m. If I'm gonna be able to do some streaming of the real plane. I'm not gonna be flying, so I'll just walking around and show you guys the plane. In the meantime, everybody have a great rest of your Sunday. Hope everybody is doing well, and thanks again for coming out, gents. Really appreciate it. Mike Coffee, Wednesday we will fly. I'm tempted to say 2024, but we'll do a little poll and we'll decide, because I don't know how many people can fly on Wednesdays. So if most people who are flying on Wednesday can do 2020, we'll do 2020. If they can do 24, we'll do 24. So we'll see. But anyway, I hope everybody's doing well. I hope you guys have a great rest of your Sunday. I'm gonna go have some dinner, and take care, guys. Appreciate it. Peter, take care. Good to see you.